What's up guys, Ryan from Manscapes. In today's video we will be doing quite a lot more things like this in future, but although some things didn't actually work that great and some kind of failed, it's the reason I posted it, to be honest, is because I tried certain methods which didn't work at all, plus you have to leave them to cure and things like that, and I tried other methods which worked very well and some which were meh, but they were okay. So I think it'll be good to show you either way what I did in making these feeders, and you know, that way if you ever have a natural setup, at least you can add to that and use something that's natural and isn't an eyesore in the tank. But as always from me, peace and love, I'm out. Okay, so I just grabbed some cones, different soils and substrates, rocks, pebbles, finer gravels and sand. I do end up getting some of the desert orange sand stuff later on, but these are what I sort of had as materials to use. I used bottle caps. Now these didn't work the best, and these are just like I mentioned at the intro, they are distinctly average. They worked and fit where I wanted them to go, but unfortunately, you know, they didn't look as good as I would have liked them to look. Also, with it being a very small watering space, it's only going to last, you know, a few hours before they drink it all up. I am going to use the same concept as this, but in maybe something slightly larger. I'd say something like a shot glass, that size, where I can actually use it within the scape and just lay it down, you know, and fill it. And I know I could do something like that. So that's something I'm definitely going to be trying, or something I will be doing in future. And yeah, I'll make another video, but this just gives you guys a rough idea of what you can do if you're building a natural setup and you want to incorporate these, I guess, funky homemade liquid feeders. The main thing is, throughout this video, I tried different things. The issue with the glue gun there, as I'm showing you, is it does pull and you do get strings. So you have to be careful when you pull it away. I was rushing slightly, so that didn't help. The silicone seal itself, I just cut the ends off, and then what my theory or idea was basically cover the bottle top in silicone, rub it all over it, then dip it in the fibers and or the rocks, and then they just stick to it, and you know, I wouldn't have to worry about anything else. That's it, done. I can just wait for it to dry and then put it in the tank. It didn't actually go how I would have liked it to go. What actually happened was it just ended up being this greasy mess. Nothing actually stuck to the bottle tops. I'm not too sure why. They were clean. I cleaned them beforehand, but you can see I just put it inside, rub it all over it, and it just wasn't enough. I don't know where I went wrong with it, but either way, it's not the best method. The hot glue gun proved to be much better. Although it was harder to hide things, it was still fairly easy to you know, do it and basically just work as you're going. You can just apply a little bit of glue and sprinkle, you know, the bits on or push the rocks on, and that way, you know, it kind of just adds together very slowly. But it does take longer, you know, and it's one of them things. I think I was trying to rush it, being a little bit impatient with that silicone as well, but I did find that the silicone was much worse to use than the hot glue itself. You can see there, it's just not looking good. I put plenty on there as well, and yeah, it's just not going good at all. It was just too greasy. It was all kept falling off. I tried the same technique with another bottle top, just to see if it was me, what I was doing, and then this time I used the rocks to see if that would help, but nope, it just didn't help at all. In fact, it was just messy. I went through a couple of pairs of gloves doing this, so it was good. I got a mass batch of them. I would definitely advise just using the hot glue gun, and that's what I decided to use in the end. But again, if I was to do this again, I would use a different sort of saucer or cup or something that's slightly larger in volume. That way, if I'm applying rocks, twigs, hardscape, certain elements that add scale, it won't then wick straight out or attach to that and come out of the actual holder itself. This way, if I use it something deeper, I can actually bury it more, or even use those elements to hide it by just placing it simply in the setup, and that way it would be best. But this has gave me more inspiration and ideas to keep using these and trying different methods, and hopefully, you know, you guys like that. The good thing about the pine cone one is that it does blend in. It's going to stand out now, but as the soil's getting shifted, it's going to be there. I do just feed it from the top. It runs down into the bottom, and yeah, it's awesome. You just see all the ants around the pine cone as well, taking it off it. It's really, really cool. I have been adding grapefruit and bananas, different fruits in all the time to keep everything well fed. Also, the gecko food, this tank, you know, is probably the one that costs me the most in terms of food, because I'm constantly having to feed them. The main thing out of this though is I hope I've gave you guys some inspiration to do something like this yourselves. Hopefully, you know, it's inspired you to create something, a better version of this as well, you know, with a larger actual volume or area to play with. And there will be an episode 2 of this where I'll be showing updated versions of these, or upgraded versions we'll say, because I do have the sources or certain things I can use already that I purchased the other day while actually recording the audio to this. One of the liquid feeders in here is actually by Antimatties. It's a new feeder and it's been working perfect with these ladies. The other ones were from High Tech Ants, I believe, and I got a MYRMICA one there on the right side. And the ones you make yourself compared to the ones you would actually buy in the store, you can see the difference there. Although you can see, because you know, you'll kind of be looking out for them, but if you were to look at it as a whole, they do blend in very well. But I hope you've liked the video, and remember, drop a like, sub, hit that notification icon. But as always from me, peace and love, I'm out.